This is Google Apps Updates Roundup number 128. In this episode, I will show you more than 27 new features in 9 different Google apps, so make sure all your apps are up to date and let me show you what's new. Let's start with the YouTube app, and here I'm gonna show you 4 new changes. The first change is the redesigned action buttons under the video player. It's now simpler with bigger buttons, no more scrolling. You only see 4 shortcuts, and for the rest you need to tap on the ellipses. On the left side you have the channel logo and the subscribe button. And for reference, here is how the old design looks. We used to have a carousel with much smaller buttons. The second change is under the app settings. When you go to time management, you will see a new toggle here called Shorts Feed Limit. That will allow you to set how much time you can scroll on Shorts each day. When you turn on the toggle, it will allow you to choose between 0 minutes all the way up to 2 hours. So let me show you how it works when you choose 0 minutes. Once you refresh your home feed, all the shorts will disappear from your suggestions. And when you go to the Shorts tab, you get this splash screen telling you that you reached your Shorts limit. But once you close the card like this, it will play Shorts normally. And also at the bottom, you have 2 buttons, either to go to home or ignore limit for today. Change number 3, if you are a Google One premium subscriber who pays $9.99 or higher a month, you get 50% discount on YouTube Premium for 12 months to pay only $15.99 or $159.99 for the whole 12 months period. And the last change is under the video description. When you go to show transcript, previously we used to have 3 tabs: timeline, chapters, and transcript, while currently transcript and timeline are merged together. Plus, you have the ability to search, which didn't exist before. I found the search to be broken as it doesn't highlight the exact word I searched for, but you still have the ability to tap on any of these paragraphs to jump to this part of the video, and everything is categorized with the chapter name. Lastly, the text is much bigger and better organized, which makes it easier to read. Next, Google Photos. And here I'm gonna show you 3 new changes. The first change is the new Explore box under the Memories carousel. It has a stack design with the word Explore written in bold. The main difference between Explore and normal Memories is it's dedicated to videos. And when you tap on it, it will show you some suggested videos with the video information at the top. You have the player, you can view the day, add to favorites, share, and under the ellipses you can get extra information. And here's how you can scroll through the videos by swiping up and down. The photo info pane also got a complete revamp, and for reference, here is a side-by-side comparison with the previous design. Starting with the maps section, Google removed the word location and the coordinates. Now you can only see the city name with the edit button next to it, plus the banner itself is more rounded. Moving to the details, now the information is classified into expandable sections, starting with the backup size, and then you can expand the camera information. It looks so much better in comparison. Plus, now you have the on-device details in terms of size and location. Lastly, the how this made section is also expandable, and here's how it looks side by side with the previous design. Also, each item now has its own container to match the Material 3 design language. And the last change is the slightly improved crop tool. Now the photo preview is bigger, plus the animations are slightly smoother in comparison. Next, we have Gemini, and here I'm going to show you 7 new changes. The first change is the redesigned Gemini overlay when you trigger it using the power button, and here is how it looks. It immediately starts the microphone. On the left, you have the plus button, which includes some options in a horizontal carousel, while the rest are showing in a list view. Then you have the word Ask Gemini. The microphone and Gemini Live buttons got new icons. And then we have the share screen with Live. Also, when you tap on the microphone, you get this new animated wave form. And once you stop the recording, that's when it will start transcribing your words. I also like how this new overlay animates. Also, when you expand it, it has a better animation than the previous version. Gemini Live also got a complete revamp, so let me show you how it looks. And instead of taking you to a full screen view, now it overlays all the options on whatever screen you are currently on. And here is how the captions look. Here you have the video share screen, the waveform, the mute switch, and the keyboard takes you back to the normal text box. You can also dismiss all the icons by tapping somewhere on the screen, and then it converts into a floating bubble that you can place anywhere, or you can dismiss it by dragging it over the X like this. The third change is the redesigned temporary chat icon, and here's how it looks. However, when you tap on it, you still see the old one over here. But the biggest change here is Google started to roll out personal intelligence globally, which was limited to the US a while ago. Once you get it, you will see a different home screen. The first thing at the top is the personal intelligence snapshot. And this one will give you an idea about what Gemini knows about you based on your previous interactions and the information it got from your connected apps. Then you will see some examples here on how you can use the personal intelligence feature. Then you have the For You page. This one will give you some suggestions based on your previous interactions as well. And if you want to modify the personal intelligence settings, you can tap on the profile menu and then personal intelligence. And here you have multiple things you can modify. First, you can activate the memory. And it says here, Gemini learns from your past chats to understand more about you, coming soon to live. And then you have another section for the connected apps. And here you can collect a lot of things like Google Workspace apps. You have Google Photos, search services, YouTube, Google Home, YouTube Music, and then you have other like Messages, Phone, WhatsApp, Utilities, Spotify, OpenStax, and finally Synth ID. The last thing you can do here, you have the interactions for Gemini. It says customize Gemini's responses, like use bullet points for long paragraphs. And here you can add whatever instructions that you want Gemini to use all the time. But at any point of time, if you don't want to use personal intelligence in your chats, just go to the tools menu and you will see the personal intelligence toggle over here. Another big change is the Notebook LM integration. When you go to the side menu, you will see a new Notebooks section, either on the mobile app or on the web. This feature will allow you to create different notebooks. Each one is about a specific topic with its own set of documents, which will help you keep things organized. And lastly, Google released a native Gemini app for macOS that you can get using this link. It downloads a DMG file on your Mac that you can install normally. And the best feature about this app is the ability to click the command space to get quick access to Gemini. This overflow menu gives you access to everything you might need. Under the plus menu, you can change the model, activate the mic, or switch to the full size app. From here, you get the same exact functionality, and under the side menu, you get your past chats, new chat, my stuff. And under the profile menu, you can access the settings, which will allow you to adjust some stuff related to personal intelligence, the appearance, the chat, the keyboard shortcuts, Gemini voice, and so on and so forth. Plus, you get the ability to share any window with Gemini. So for example, if you have Safari open, when you open Gemini and then click on the plus button, share window, it will allow you to ask questions about whatever you see on the screen. On a side note, if you like my wallpapers, let me show you the latest ones added to the Wallpapers by In-Depth Tech Reviews app. I've just added 28 new wallpapers that will make your smartphone look stunning. Plus, you have the ability to download any of them locally on the device, so you can apply the wallpaper effects on any of them. If you want to give it a try, you will find Google Play Store download link in the description. And now let's get back to Google Apps. Next, we have Gboard, and here I'm gonna show you two new changes. The two changes I'm gonna show you are just minor tweaks. The first one is under the stickers or custom stickers page. Now, when you try to create a sticker, you will see a new send button at the top that will allow you to immediately send it without the need to save it first like before. And the second change is the improved AI writing tools animation. So let me show you how it looks. As you see, the window expands in a different way. Plus, we have a new glowing animation around the text box. Next, Google Wallet. And here I'm gonna show you three new changes. The first change is the redesigned homepage, and here is how it looks now. This is a side-by-side comparison with the previous design. The first thing you'll notice here is the bigger card preview at the top. The passes are now showing in a grid view instead of the list view like before, and you still have the ability to reorder items by using the drag and drop gesture. The plus button got redesigned, and we have this new View More button that gives you access to the recent transactions, your passes, and a couple more settings that I'm going to talk about later. The second change is the ability to favorite or unfavorite any of your passes. And when you add them to your favorites, they appear automatically on your home screen like this. Plus, you have the ability to unfavorite any of them by just opening the pass like this, and you will see a quick shortcut here at the top right corner. Back to the View More page, we got this new search functionality. It will give you 3 suggestions: your recent transactions, payment methods, and loyalty cards, or you can use your own words to locate any item you want. When you scroll all the way down, you will see another way to manage your passes on the home screen. From here, you can add more passes like this or reorder them using these handles. Finally, when you scroll all the way down under the View More page, you will see the Manage Payment Methods. Here you can see your cards, you can add a new one, or manage other payment methods. Next, Google Chrome. And here I'm gonna show you 5 new changes. The first change is under the tab switcher. Now you have the ability to mute any of them by tapping and holding and then mute site. And you can do the same to toggle it back on. Under settings, we have a new search functionality that will make it easier to locate any of the options. The third change is the redesigned zoom slider. It's now thicker with a dot at the end to match the Material 3 design language, and here is how it looks when you drag your finger over it. Moving to the reading mode, when you expand the settings card at the bottom, you will see a brand new font added to the list called Lexant. And lastly, the new incognito tab got some design tweaks. Now we have this new colorful G logo. The text next to it is different, the font used here is bigger, and the block third-party cookies toggle is gone, and they are now blocked by default. Next, Google app. And here I'm going to show you 2 new changes. The first change is related to circle to search. Now when you highlight anything on the screen, you get this new Nano Banana Create button that copies your selection and pastes it into the AI mode so you can create any image. The second change is the new Google app for desktop that you can download from this page. Once installed on your PC, you can press the Alt and the spacebar to start the app, and it gives you this glowing animation that makes it stand out. The text box is used to ask anything to Google's AI mode with the ability to attach documents and images using the plus button. Plus, you have the ability to share the entire screen or a specific window in case you have a question about what you see, which is pretty much the same as Gemini Live. And at the bottom right corner, you have the Google Lens button, which will give you access to circle to search so you can select certain parts of the screen. Last but not least, under the profile menu, you can adjust a lot of settings, like the ability to toggle the AI mode on or off, change the app theme. Under configurations, you can modify the keyboard shortcut. Under data and the privacy, you can choose if you want to include your Google Drive and local files in the search results or not. And lastly, the What's New option that opens the changelog page of the app. Now let's end this video by talking about the apps that only got 1 new change, and I will start with Google Lens. Now you have the ability to track individual hotel prices by scrolling down, and you will see a toggle over here. When you turn on, the tooltip says you will get emails when this hotel's prices change, and if you want to check your tracking list, you can tap on this hyperlink, which will allow you to view or delete the tracking if you want. And lastly, the Find Hub web app can now locate your headphones and tags, which wasn't the case before. So that's pretty much it for today. These are all the new changes I wanted to show you in Google Apps, and if you spotted any new feature, please reach me out on social media so I can include in my future episodes. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.